Brought to you by Keep the lights on. Use Airtel Money to pay for all your Yaka bills conveniently. Open the My Airtel app to buy Yaka units. Airtel Money. Simple, secure, borderless. You by.
We're here to build because at the end of the day, we're truly Ugandan.
A very good evening and a warm welcome to our first edition of UBC News Tonight on this 27th day of February 2022. Now, before we get into tonight's bulletin, let's first take a look at the top stories of the night.
Brought to you by.
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Tonight, Sasakawa president promises support to Ugandan farmers. Nature Uganda equips Chigezi tour guides with tourism skills. Sound pollution regulations may not apply to places of worship. And government to work with corporates to grow sports.
Was brought to you by. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Good evening once again and welcome to a first edition of UBC News Tonight. I'm Lauryn Kazimoto and Mohammed Mugalu on sign language. Now we'll start off with our first headlining story this evening. Ugandans have been told to make proper use of the money disbursed from the Parish development model to ensure its intended objectives are achieved. Now this initiative, which President Yoweri Museveni describes as a revolving fund, says if well utilized, people's economic standards will improve. He echoed this while launching the new parish model at Chibuku Primary School in Chibuku District.
The message from the Youth Brigade of Kibuku was on point, complemented by another from students of Nandere Secondary School. The emphasis of the day was working for just more than the stomach. And when the ink was put to paper, anxiety over the launch of the parish development model was ended.
The main pillar here is income going from Okore Echida Chonka to working for the Echida and the pocket.
Erigai kuruo bempange kuruo program eno kuzwa amukolera kida chonka tukolera kida nenga tukolera nensawo.
That is the main pillar.
Niye empange nene mukintu kino.
The other pillars are to assist in that or supplement.
Era bya kuyamba ku kintu ekyo dala kyesento mu nsawo.
But don't get lost in that.
It was a culmination of a day-long activity at Kibuku Church of Uganda Primary School. President Yoweri Museveni who earlier on toured various stalls at the venue, expressed optimism in the new model.
We can conserve elephants in the national park. Conserve the swamps, but not conserve poverty. Now we are doing everything wrong. We don't conserve the swamps. We don't conserve the forests. We don't conserve the national parks. But instead we conserve poverty. No, this is not correct. And I have proof that it can be done.
He, however, warned against misuse of disbursed funds, a similar message Prime Minister Robin Anabanja had earlier on alluded to.
I also want to encourage the beneficiaries, the local people, the Ugandans, to use the funds for the intended purpose. And of course, as government, Your Excellency, we shall not tolerate any misuse of these funds. Fellow Ugandans, you are aware that these funds are supposed to be borrowed. Use the funds for your own good and then refund the funds so that others can also benefit.
Now we have changed. We shall get the money and give it to your government at the parish. Government
In their memorandum as districts from Bukedi sub-region, these are some of their pleas.
We still have some bottlenecks that may affect a successful implementation of the parish development model. It is therefore our humble request, Your Excellency, that you ease our connectivity.
Present at the launch was also Vice President Alupo Jeskaros Epel, among other dignitaries.
All of us and all Ugandans have a right to development. And we as government have a right to remind the people about their role in the development process. And more so to remind them about their responsibility to participate in the programs in ensuring that they improve themselves, their families, and the community, and indeed in the entire government transformation process.
To the local leaders, both able-bodied and disabled, it is a step in the right direction.
We want to make sure this thing helps them to get out of poverty. That is our prayer as the people from this region.
We look forward to really working very hard with the government to supervise this program to ensure that we get value for money. It needs a lot of commitment, of leadership at all levels.
So when they are well mobilized, it can become so easy to improve on their economic status and standards of living. But the bigger question is, how do they intend to organize people with disabilities to target them?
Sliced, spiced and shared. 30% of the 100 million is meant for women, another 30% for youth, among other beneficiaries. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The Ministry of Education is committed to continue to implement the teaching of science subjects and innovations in rural schools. This to enable achieve the goals of government program of emphasizing science subjects. It is noted that the Ministry of Education embarked on the policy which took effect in 2006, making the study of science subjects, namely physics, chemistry, biology and mathematics compulsory for the ordinary level then.
The
Ministry of Education and Sports made the study of science subjects that include physics, chemistry, biology and mathematics compulsory at the ordinary level. According to available information, over 4.7 million students have been trained in science subjects, both at O and A levels.
Sciences now, they have uplifted from the region of low to the region of high, whereby we have got teachers from different corners. The government has tried to give us those teachers.
Muyingo, who is behind this program of a multi-purpose lab with 3 latrines, with the aim of bringing science.
The Minister of State for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, says the ministry is committed to supporting schools in rural areas access modern necessary requirements. This was contained in the message delivered by the minister's personal assistant, Abdul Karim Waswa, while on a familiarization tour of Wakatai Secondary School Laboratory under construction and St. Stephen Chetume Primary School in Zirobwe.
Yawebwa ekizimbe kino si kimu, yawebwa toilets 3 era nazo nga bazitandise n'ekizimbe kino abaana bafu okubanga badde batawaana aba sciences nga wakati ayinza okuba kigimu ku bitawanya mu kukola sciences.
Meanwhile, the Luwero District LC5 chairperson Erostas Chibirango encourages farmers in the area to utilize the rainy season by engaging in commercial farming, especially fruit growing. This was in Chichusa Town Council at a function held at Haji Umar Malo residence. Ivan Juko, Salon Kaswante for UBC News.
The Regional Coordinator Business Development at Sasakawa Africa Association, Ande Okiror, says there is increasing costs of farm inputs, a high cost of labor on top of threats from climate change, leaving the farmer with very little hope for prosperity. The visiting president of Sasakawa Africa Association, Dr. Makoto Chi Tanaka from Japan, is in Uganda to evaluate the progress of the interventions as they unveil the new strategic plan for the next 5 years. We have the details.
A team of agriculture extension scientists led by the president of Sasakawa Africa Association, Dr. Makoto Kitanaka, have visited Mubende district to ascertain the progress of their interventions.
Last year we launched the new strategies covering regenerative agriculture, nutrition sensitive agriculture and market oriented agriculture. In this visit to this area, I understand the members of the communities we support the Sasakawa Africa Association. They promoted very much and market-oriented agriculture.
Sasakawa Africa Association Regional Coordinator Business Development Ande Okiror expressed concerns over the ever-increasing cost of production for many rural farmers.
The only thing is the cost of production for the farmers is very high. The farmers, as Ugandan farmers, need to reduce and cut their cost of production. For example, we have seen farmers in Busoga, when we did a calculation, they were producing at 550 shillings per kilo. But you can cut that cost of production to only 180. If you are producing at 180, that means if you are selling your maize at 350, at 400, you are making profits.
The Production and Marketing Officer Mbende District, Fred Kisache, says a lot has been achieved in setting up of infrastructure for collective marketing in the district.
Now, if our farmers can be able to work on those two, and indeed they are, because they have storage space, they have agro-processing, some agro-processing infrastructure, and soon they are going to actually get value addition equipment. When there is an off-taker, it is a direct drive to actually pull the markets upwards.
The team visited Madudu Sub-County Cooperative Association and the women groups in the district who are adding value onto their produce. They were impressed by the adoption of latest agricultural technologies by the extension staff.
Actually, we received the Sasakawa African Association as a blessing. At first, we were moving, but we are not moving steadily.
There is a lot going on as far as counterfeits are concerned, but you chose to come here, guide us in each and everything in the technical way. Really, that is very, very, very great.
To me, I always say it's better you do something small and not so big, and then you use the right inputs. You can have the 5 acres, but what is your output? And yet you can have 1 or 2 acres, take care of that, use the right inputs.
Report compiled by Douglas Setumba for UBC News.
Now, efforts are in high gear to empower the local population in Kigezi sub-region with tourism business skills. Nature Uganda Chief Executive Achilles Byaruhanga is leading the team that is providing youths in Kigezi with skills in tourism so that the area taps into the abundant resources in the area. Now, the training took place on the shores of Lake Bunyonyi in Kabale district.
Kigezi residents are being imparted with skills to tap into the abundant, beautiful scenery in the area to make money. The Executive Director, Nature Uganda, Achilles Byaruhanga, says Kigezi has all it takes to become the most visited area in the country, but only after residents are adequately sensitized.
But the tourism industry has not taken off, despite that actually in terms of tourism revenue, Kigezi area probably raises over 50% of the amount of money that you bring in as a tourism revenue. But at the local level, you don't see it. But now we want these young people to participate in this industry.
Byaruhanga was presiding over training of Lake Bunyonyi local tour guides on the shores of this Africa's second deepest lake. He also donated books, tools of trade including a motorboat to the guides to assist them carry out tourism activities in the region more competently.
You need to have a very good boat. If you're a bad guide, you need to have binoculars, you need to have telescopes, maybe you need to have a camera. If you're a bad guide, you need to have a book. You need to have what they call bad guides, so that when you are talking to a tourist, you know what you're talking about and you can clearly check it, you can confirm what you're talking about.
Some of the local tour guides said despite their passion for the industry, their exposure to relevant skills has been lacking.
What I have learned from Nature Uganda today is from how to guide clients to the islands, to the national parks, and how to guide them in a proper way that they should understand each and everything, like when touring gorillas, like when enjoying the islands, when visiting the pygmies.
As part of the event, guides performed some acrobatics across a Lake Bunyonyi Peninsula, tree climbing and boat rowing, among others.
Residents in Buwali East Village in Bududa district are to benefit from a poultry project for income generation. This was disclosed by John Magezi Ndamira, the district governor, District 9213, during the commissioning of Rotary Opportunity Bank Microfinance Linkage Fund and Hatchery Project in Buwali East Village, Bududa district. We have the details.
Natural calamities that often occur in Bududa district have negatively impacted the district in areas of wealth creation, quality education, safe water and harmony. Under Rotary Club of Kampala North Bududa Adopt Project, residents will now be able to recover from some economic hardships courtesy of Budei Education Center. Rotarians have introduced various projects in the district to boost health services, basic education, and economic empowerment for the community in Bududa district, as John Magezi Ndamira, the district governor of District 9213, explains.
Because as we launch this, we know that women are very good business people.
The whole aim of the linkage between us and the Rotary Club is to bring life to these people, to give them small monies that can help with them, put in their business, come up, begin a new life. To help them, we shall be giving them school fees, agric loans, and also business loans.
Important, and I'm happy that there are many women here.
The project started in March 2019 and is expected to cost about 780 million shillings. As part of income-generating activities in the community, a hatchery has been commissioned for the community's economic empowerment. The hatchery will be ensuring 2,500 chicks are generated weekly as part of a wider project that Rotary Club of Kampala North is implementing.
Day basis, they have to take care of the basic maintenance. So they have a committee in place which makes sure that the basic requirements are taken care of in terms of maintaining the water system. Then anything that is beyond them, that is when they reach out to the district water office. Equally with the other components, say on education, should they?
The chairperson, Bowali East Village, Bududa District, Richard Wawuyo, says the chicken hatchery component will improve the well-being of the community members.
If service have come nearer, we shall be able to get rich.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we return with business stories. Keep it locked.
MBs are now bigger MBs only on MTN. When you load a daily bundle of 250 shillings, you no longer get 15 MBs, you get 30 MBs. For 500 shillings, you no longer get 40 MBs, you get 80 MBs. For 1,000 shillings, it's no longer 100 MBs, it's 180 MBs. Dial *150*10# or use the My MTN app to load bigger daily bundles only on MTN.
MTN is regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
In all its operations worldwide, Total Energies considers national content as a key component for the success of its operations. Total Energies EP Uganda therefore developed a national content strategy aimed at maximizing the use of local manpower, goods, and service providers. Subsequently, the company has undertaken a number of initiatives aimed at ensuring that Ugandan companies, entities, and citizens are adequately equipped to participate in the oil and gas sector. Some of these initiatives include the organization of national supplier development workshops with the aim of providing suppliers with information regarding available opportunities to supply goods and services. Other initiatives include health, safety, environment training, the Welders Training and Certification Program, training of heavy goods vehicle drivers, scaffolding training, and the development of the Industry Enhancement Center. This strategy was developed in line with the national content regulations of Uganda. Total Energies EP Uganda is committed to the empowerment of Ugandans to take an active part in the overall development of the oil project in Uganda.
Start the year off with My Airtel 4G smartphone. You get to enjoy free 1 GB data valid for a month and 100% bonus data every month for 3 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings. This includes free data spread over 3 months worth 86,500 Uganda shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 Uganda shillings only. Visit the nearest Airtel shop and get one today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Hey, what's up? How you doing? My name is MC Katz. Yo, we've had COVID-19 for 2 years. So many young girls go pregnant, but that's not the end of the world. That's not the end of life. You still have a future to look out to. The women that have been going through domestic violence, we are asking you out there, wherever you are, please seek for help. The boys, I know you got involved in so many things, most so the drugs. Drugs are lying to you. You take them, you think you control them until they take you and they're controlling you. To my youth out there, never be led or told that you can't make it. Wake up every morning and say, I'm going to go get it. More so with people with HIV who didn't manage to get their drugs on time because they didn't have a way of getting to the health centers. Don't sit back, never be led or told that you can't make it. I'm calling upon anybody responsible, any NGOs, any teacher, any counselor, any LC. We can go back and forth arresting people, but help the women and young girls countrywide.
Abanyankole, Muhango. They actually date, don't date. They bagishu, humoba fubalfu. It means king-size freshness for all. Movit Family Soap is giving you a fresh start for your family. This soap is indeed so big. Chagwerera muwangazi. It has a great kawowo. Oh naba, no naba, kare no naba dala. Available in coconut, aloe vera, lemon, and rose. Find the king-size Movit Family Soap in all Dukas, Nespa markets close to you. Movit, all day confidence.
Enjoy convenience today with Airtel Money School Pay, FlexiPay, or Bridge Schools. To pay school fees using Airtel Money for Bridge Schools, dial *185#. Select option 6, School Fees. Select option 1, Bridge Schools. Enter pupil ID. Enter the amount. Enter the PIN number to complete payment. Pay school fees conveniently using Airtel Money. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back from that break, and we're glad you're still watching UBC News Tonight. And now into the world of business. The project for skilling youth in Kamwenge district is to ensure equitable development is implemented by Youth Development Organization at Ave Maria Technical Institute in Kamwenge district. The program focuses on supporting national skilling reforms that aim at making skills development in Kamwenge more demanding. We have the details.
Ave Maria Technical Institute based in Kamwenge district is to offer learners an opportunity to acquire vocational training skills. The courses include carpentry and joinery, vehicle mechanics, hairdressing, tailoring and garment cutting, among others.
On behalf of government, okutongoza ishomereri kandi n'abana biza kushoma tutanise tuterere mahanga omungaro.
Nyamuna kidisaka buzoba njita munyuma nayo misho kandi engine tine chinde chinta kumanya.
Other courses, among all I chose to take Gundi building and construction. Yes, because in future I want to be someone like an engineer in terms of building.
Thank you very much for looking on us, knowing that we are also supposed to be brought up. Do something, at least we become self-reliant. We shouldn't depend on men. We should make our own businesses.
The training program is designed to take a period of 6 months. Will be implemented by the Youth Integrated Development Organization and Enabel, a Belgian development agency.
Interest is making sure we are able to earn from practical work. We are able to earn a living and support ourselves even when we have not got degrees or diplomas in higher institutions of learning. We have come to discover that these skills are a source of good livelihood and actually a source of income, I may say.
Technical education was much limited to males, but now we are encouraging parents to also bring their daughters for technical courses, because as per now we have girls in doing bricklaying and concreting practice, and we have girls also doing motor vehicle mechanics.
YIDO is targeting market-relevant vocational and technical skills to youth out of school in Kamwenge district.
This YIDO program funded by Enabel enables them to get alternative skills development, which we have an opportunity to provide by paying their fees and also accommodation to enable them go through this training.
Kamwenge district officials thanked YIDO for its effort of promoting value chain livelihood development enterprises to over 200 youth.
Helping these boys who dropped from school to go back and get skills. So here is an opportunity for them to get that skill so they really serve this country so that development can prosper in Uganda.
With 5% school dropout rate in the Kamwenge district, YIDO's initiatives complement government efforts to help youth attain necessary skills and find meaningful employment. Haruna Mutesasira, reporting for UBC News in Kamwenge District.
MBs are now bigger MBs only on MTN. When you load a daily bundle of 250 shillings, you no longer get 15 MBs, you get 30 MBs. For 500 shillings, you no longer get 40 MBs, you get 80 MBs. For 1,000 shillings, it's no longer 100 MBs, it's 180 MBs. Dial *150*10# or use the My MTN app to load bigger daily bundles only on MTN.
MTN is regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
And now taking a look into the world of sports, the Ministry of Education and Sports has committed to work with the Corporates League to enable sports growth in Uganda. The Corporates League is a non-government organization that oversees sports competition in Uganda and has officially started its 2022 season.
Newly appointed National Council of Sports Board Chairperson Ambrose Tashobya has represented the State Minister for Sports Samson Obua at the opening of the 2022 Corporate League season at Chambogo University ground.
You know, to look ahead to a time when, an opportune time, when the Honourable Minister and the Principal can have a breakfast with them, with their MDs and company secretaries, to have a closer interaction, to understand sports in a deeper way, and also for us to understand the corporate organizations in a deeper way, to see how they can add more value to the sports subsector, but also to see how we can help them using sport to grow their brands.
Tashobya was flanked by National Council of Sports General Secretary Dr. Bernard Patrick Ogwell, who reiterated government commitment towards organized sports bodies.
The corporate, today we are celebrating, has made a huge contribution in supporting and supplementing government efforts in overall sports development of the country. That we need to show solidarity and work with. The future of sports can only be bright and better when we are working closely with the corporate world.
The Corporate League is now in its 20th year and has over time organized a sports competition amongst various bodies with the theme of bringing communities together.
We have to make it mightier than before. What I really expect is for them to act corporate. We expect them to stick to safety. Safety is 1. 2, let us really build the community. We are brought together as a community. Let's stick to that. CSR is coming. Let's help many others out there when it comes to COVID and vaccination.
This year's edition, which comes after a 2-year absence due to COVID-19, has 51 teams, including MTN, Parliament, Roofings, and Movit. Competition is in various disciplines highlighted by football, volleyball, basketball, athletics, and swimming. John Barnes, Sentamo, reporting.
Brought to you by.
We're here to build because at the end of the day, we're truly Ugandan.
Well, UBC News Tonight has come to an end, but do join us for more stories in our second edition of UBC News Tonight. I'm Lauryn Kazimoto and Mohammed Mugalu. We shall see you at 10.
Double MBs for the same price on daily bundles with Airtel. Now you get double.